Hey, what's up, Saber Selectioners? This is Hank Saber, giving you guys a very creative deck profile today. It's Cyber Dragon Ultra Athletes, and already by the look of it, you guys can tell this will be a fun deck profile. I've been working on it for a few weeks now, and I kind of like the build. It's by no means the most competitive deck that you could be playing right now, but certainly not a bad option for a fun deck. It's a little budget, other than the Dante, of course, but you don't need the Dante. So anyway, guys, let's get into the deck profile, and well, here we go. So to start off the deck, we run 3 copies, Secret Rare, Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is just that kind of card you kind of need in this deck. Spam rank 5s, and you can also special summon it and use it as tribute fodder for your Ultra Athletes. Now, there are certain other cards that might be a little bit better suited for this. I just like the Cyber Dragons. I think it's a cool element to add to the deck, and being able to make Pleiades is kind of cool, so we run 3 of that. And then we run 3 copies of UA Midfield against the Ultra Athletes. And of course, this guy is your just main guy. I mean, how could you not run this guy? UA Midfielder just adds so much to the deck, and well, is your only really normal summonable without a tribute UA monster that you could put out there. So your midfielder, your guy, your captain is sort of cool. So we run 3 of that, and the very ultra important Mighty Slugger. And well, Mighty Slugger is just that push for damage kind of card that you need in the deck, and it's just a huge beat stick when put on board with Stadium as your field spell. Just a great card, can completely control fields, and wow, it's an amazing card. Would not run the deck without it. Just a phenomenal 3 of. So then, as a 2 of, we run 2 copies of UA Perfect Ace. Just really another cool card that you can make rank 5s with, along with your Mighty Slugger and your Cyber Dragons. Just great to negate stuff during your opponent's turn, Trishulas and whatnot. Kind of cool, just to negate like certain spell cards, you know, negate their Shaddoll Fusion, negate their Necro spells, and etc, etc. That's it for the UA list. So we only run a total of 8 UA monsters, not the full UA lineup that you might expect. I don't run Blockbacker, don't run Playmaker, Goalkeeper, don't run any of those guys. Don't think they're that great. So we just run those guys for the Cyber Dragon or UA cards. We run 2 copies of Curry Bandit. Curry Bandit's really cool in this deck. More so, you know, I run Curry Bandit, Call the Haunted / Oasis Dragon Souls in a lot of decks. It was known for being in my X-Saber deck. I will run it in other decks as well, as you guys will continue to see on my channel. This card has become my single most favorite card. I love this card to pieces. I think this card is kind of like the new Upstart Goblin, which I'll make a new video just based on that because it's kind of long. But anyway, Curry Bandit just adds so much to this deck with all the spells. A phenomenal card, and we do run some recursion in this deck, so just be on the lookout. I don't run the banished cards, the macro, the D-Fisher. I just actually kind of rely on Graveyard with my builds, so 2 Curry Bandit certainly helps a lot to consistency of the deck, and I'll get into more why later. So that's that. Then I run 2 actually interesting cards. That another card I think is kind of cool in this format, along with Curry Bandit, is this guy, the Genex Alley Birdman. Genex Alley Birdman, just another great card. You can pull a card back to your hand, so another like a monster, and then you could continue to just make a Synchro. I prefer Black Rose, clear their field, and then go off again. So kind of cool. And then to round off the last monster, I run 1 Dandelion. Dandelion is kind of like uses different purposes. You can excavate it with Curry Bandit and special summon 2 tokens, or you can just set it. You know, if you don't have any other monsters, you can set it, get 2 tokens, use it as tribute fodder later on, and well, just another great card. So that's my monster lineup. It's kind of interesting, kind of new, fresh. I don't run the Burning Abyss monsters that you might expect. You guys saw the Dante. That's really just there if you have 2 level 3s at the same time, as most extra deck cards are very situational in this deck. You very rarely go into the extra deck at all. Anyway, for the spells, I run 3 copies of UA Stadium. Just your best spell card. I mean, whenever you normal summon a midfielder, you just search your, basically, Mighty Slugger or Perfect Ace. So, you know, we run 3 of it. Then we run, basically, 2 more copies of the Stadium, because we run 2 Terraforming. I don't like 3, because, I don't know, 3 is a bit much, I feel. Then I run 1 copy of Power Jersey. Power Jersey is like a card. I mean, it's great if you get it off, but I don't like breaking the card. I don't really like getting it that much. If you have a Mighty Slugger on the field, it's already good as it is. UA Power Jersey just makes it better. It kind of takes away from the consistency of the deck, but just being able to have it in your toolbox is kind of cool. So we run 1 of that. And then run 2 copies of the Monarch Stormforth. Monarch Stormforth, just another great card you can use in this deck. Being able to chip their cards and summon your own, again, very strong. And I just run 2 Rhoda. I understand that midfielder is a great card, but it's your only target in this deck. In my past regular UA decks, I ran more warriors that would probably search over midfielder, like TG Striker or Spell Striker. Just think 2 Rhoda is a little bit better than 3 in this build particularly, so we move on. Then I run 1 copy of a card that's kind of used just for the Cyber Dragons. I run 1 Power Bond. Now, Power Bond is, you don't need this card. I run it for kind of giggles, but, you know, it's kind of cool just being able to use it. You could make the argument it does clog sometimes, but you can just set this card and pass and hope they blind space it, or, you know, it can unclog 2 Cyber Dragons in your hand, or maybe even 3. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. Just an okay card. I like using it. And, well, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I run 1 Raigeki. I run 1 Soul Charge. Soul Charge is kind of important if you're running the Kree Bandit engine. Just make sure you run that, because you want to be able to bring your monsters back onto the field. And to round off the spell lineup, 2 MST. So that's it for the spells. So, basically, all these spells are targets for your Kree Bandits when you excavate at the end of the turn. So, just kind of cool. Then for the traps, run a pretty hefty trap lineup. For the 2-0s, I run 2 copies of Oasis of Dragon Souls. For your Kree Bandit plays, again, you can just make different things, which is kind of cool, you know. I then run 1 copy of Compulsory Excavation Device. I run 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. I run 1 Ring of Destruction. 1 Mirror Force. I actually run 2 copies of Mind Crush, so I thought I ran 1, but 2. And then I run 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. So that's it for the main deck. So for the extra deck, we run 1 Dante. You don't have to run the Dante, by no means you have to. I just like Dante because it's just a great card in general. Being able to overlay 2 level 3s that were kind of dead to begin with, then excavate 3 is, you know, kind of cool. So 1 Dante, 1 Zen Maidens, just for, you know, if you have certain problems. For the only rank 4 I run 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur. Just kind of cool to get over stuff, deal damage, which is kind of what this deck is about. For the rank 5s, I run 1 Tears, 1 Adris, 1 Artifact Durendal, and 1 Cyber Dragon Nova. Very rarely make this, but, you know, why not run it? And then, probably the most used out of them all is probably number 61 Volcanosaurus. Just being able to deal damage is really cool. And then 1 Pleiades, because, well, if you can make Pleiades, then definitely run Pleiades. So, we run, that's it for our XZs. And then, for the Synchros, we run 1 Black Rose Dragon, because this card is nuts this format, if you can make it. Then I run 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Crimson Blader, and 1 Boxia. Boxia is for when you can Oasis your Cyber Dragons or your Mighty Slugger, whatever, back, and you can make with Birdman, and you can just sync, so kind of cool. And then for the fusions, I run just 1 Cyber Twin Dragon and 1 Cyber End Dragon. And again, you don't ever go into your extra deck that much. If you do, it's very rewarding, so why not, you know, just like, kind of cool. Alright guys, this brings us to the end of the deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this deck profile, feel free to share it with your friends and tell them, if they already haven't done so, tell them to become a Saber selectioner like you. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. Be on the look for a Burning Abyss deck pro real soon, and a Necros deck as soon as I get my Denko Sakas, which has been for a while. And, well, I guess that's all I can say for now. For now, this is Hank Saber, signing off. Enjoy the beautiful weather, and, well, keep on rolling. Peace out, guys.